Welcome to another long plays, where I take a relaxed look for an hour of some random DOS game either from my childhood or a new one that I've encountered. This is not a new one, not by any means. Last week I did I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which I'd only played once before. This game is also a point-and-click adventure, and I have played it probably more than any other point-and-click adventure ever. So you're listening to a beautiful John Williams composed MT32 score of the introductory theme to Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, and now our titular character shall burst through a window.
Alright, Jones, how you gonna find that statue and all this junk?
Now, I had Karina play this recently for my Forcing Karina to Play DOS Games series, and it did not go well for her. So let's watch somebody who, actually enjoys these kind of games play it. So this already, I mentioned it in the previous video I did about this. This is now my third video on this game.
It's a medieval gargoyle, or a good imitation.
This is Doug Lee doing the voiceovers. These were recorded later for the CD edition of the game. And this is running in ScumVM.
It's a copy of an Egyptian statue of Horus.
But what this is doing right now is
Some kind of funeral urn.
it's showing the user, and it might seem like such a sort of strange thing, but it's showing the user how to use a mouse to interact with objects.
It's a stone carving of Shiva.
And you might think, well, mouse interaction has been a regular thing since the early 90s, has it not, James? And you're right, it has. But not in the context of a point-and-click adventure game.
Poor Marcus. He thought this was a Maasai warrior.
Because point-and-click adventure games were previously text parser games, where you wouldn't do a lot of pointing and clicking at all, and you would just do text-based commands.
It's a stone carving of Shiva.
So, we've had a look at some of the statues, not all of them, and we'll look at this peculiar one now. You'll also notice that this game is utilising what's called now I have forgotten the name of it. Isn't that clever? iMuse. The iMuse system, and that means that the MT32 score reacts in real time to your actions. You see when Indy got up there and the music changed?
Looks like textiles from the Shamat collection.
So we now know how to point and click. That's excellent.
The label says unidentified potsherds.
So what we'll do is we shall observe this gaping hole.
Looks dangerous.
And down we go. And you'll also note that this isn't just an introductory kind of here's how to play a game with the mouse. It's also a glorified credits scene that you play through. And I thought at the time that was brilliant, Each little bit will show you a different member of the team.
I think I've read them all.
Oh, you're such a book nerd, Indiana.
There's nothing of importance here.
Nope.
There's nothing of importance here.
Well, you know what we have to do then. We'll do what Karina didn't. And if you're watching Karina, this is what happens. Let's go to the exit.
The stairway is closed for repairs.
Aha! So, when I told you not to go to the exit, I was right. I wonder why.
These books don't look familiar.
Because I played it hundreds and hundreds of times. So, down he goes. And you'll also note, there it is, original music and arrangements by Clint Bajakian, he of TIE Fighter and Dark Forces fame. What a team that lot is. There's a number of them, and they were responsible for almost all of LucasArts' early MIDI-based scores. And they were brilliant, you know. Because
Possibly an ancient Mesopotamian cat god.
you'd sit and you'd be trying to figure things out, and the music would loop seamlessly. Oh no! You'll also note that that differed from the other playthrough. Karina clicked on the outside cat, I believe. I might be wrong about that one. And I clicked on the second in, and it was also a cat. I think it might just be the second cat you check. I'm not entirely sure about that. So, Indy's best observation the whole game. You ready for this?
It's hot.
Well done, Indy. So, is it in the left locker? Is it in the right locker? No. Middle
I'll
locker.
be. Here's what I've been searching for.
Now let's just leave without it.
I'm not leaving without that statue.
Okay.
Strange
See the
looking
music
thing.
change?
I wonder where Marcus picked it up.
Well, there's only one way to find out, Indiana, and that's to go and speak to the only person more obvious in their observations than you. And that is Marcus. So off he goes, and we still haven't begun the game really. This is just the opening scene with the credits and so on. And it just immerses you in the 1930s, I believe.
I'm back.
Indy? You don't look at all well, Dr. Jones.
Exploring our collections can be dangerous, Mr. What was your name again?
Smith.
Convincing.
Did you find a lock to match my key?
This was
You
the bit
bet I
that
did.
Karina made a double entendre about.
Take a look.
You should probably watch that opening 20
What are you
minutes
waiting
of her
for?
playing
Let's
it.
open it.
It was
Why
entertaining.
not? It's an obvious fake.
You may think so.
Once we get to
I
New
believe
York,
we are opening a new
we'll
chapter in history.
we'll move on and we'll speak a bit further about it, because
word,
otherwise
you
I'm just
small
going to be
little bit
repeating
jewelry,
myself from a
perhaps?
previous video.
I still think it's a fake.
Then you won't mind if
Sudden
I
change in tone.
Really, Mr. Smith?
stand
It's
back,
not Mr.
gentlemen.
Smith at all, you know.
I hope you've got a getaway car.
Something
waiting.
about the
You'll
German
need-
accent threw it off. Was ist Fritz? Wo ist Fritz? Right. Marcus leaping to our aid there. Look at that. Thanks, Marcus. Were you ready?
He got away.
Really?
Oh, we got his coat, Marcus. Hey, what's this? Klaus Kerner, huh?
Klaus
Good Lord,
Gerner.
The man some sort of agent from the Third Reich.
And already the intrigue
What
is
does the
being built
spy
up.
want with the Buddhist statue?
It's not
I
a
lied,
phony, Marcus.
I don't think it's a phony.
Nope.
I can't place the
It's
style,
not a great
but
big
it's old.
phony.
Look what else our friend was carrying. An old copy of National Archaeology. And there you are in Iceland.
Yeah, field supervisor for the Jastro expedition. My first real job.
Who's the woman?
Sophia Hapgood. She was my assistant, a spoiled rich kid from Boston, rebelling against her family.
Where is she now?
She gave up archaeology to become a psychic.
How odd.
You can say that again.
Indy, Kerner found you. What if he finds her? We should warn the woman.
You're right. I want to know more about that statue. You know, Marcus, the coldest year of my life was the one I spent in Iceland with Sophia.
Beautifully done. Like, just sets the tone, and for people who don't like narrative gaming, it's not much fun. But for those who do, it's just like, exposition central. So, I mentioned in a Get Off My Lawn video that you'll note Indy's not said anything here. If that entire start could be skipped and you could go straight to New York and Indy would just give you a line. He'd basically say, wondering how Sophia Hapgood got mixed up with Nazi spies and so on. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our menu and talk to the ticket taker. It's just like a text parser in that you have to construct sentences using the buttons at the bottom. So we'll talk to ticket taker.
Hello there.
The show's sold out, sir.
And this is our conversational system. You have a series of choices. None of these make a difference, but your choices do make a difference in many conversations. Sometimes radical differences. You'll see in due course. Hold on.
Hold on.
No seats, no standing room, no exceptions.
Let's try again.
Excuse me.
Come back next week.
Shut down. So, there's not much there for us to interact with. We could use the taxi, but that defeats the purpose. We don't want to leave New York without finding Sophia. And as you mouse over things, you'll see, hey, I can interact with this. So, if you left-click, Indy will walk to the newspaper. If you right-click, the highlighted button in the menu there will be highlighted. Look at. So
It's today's paper.
generally, Indy does not interact with things unless you explicitly tell him to. So he will observe his surroundings, he will move to his surroundings, but he won't do something you'll be like, Indy, no, why did you do that? Let's pick up the paper. That's in your inventory now. You can
This was
look
taken
at...
a long while ago, when I thought we might like each other.
More exposition. But yeah, you can look at things in your inventory. Let's
It's
look at
today's paper.
That's all we're getting. He's not going to open it up and tell us all about it. So, we'll move on to the phone booth. Let's use it.
I can't make a call. I'm out of nickels.
Now, this is one of those cases where I have just been showing up. I said, oh, Indy doesn't usually interact with things. There he does, but it's highlighted use. So when you mouse over something you're about to right click, always take a look at the highlighted thing in the menu, just to be on the safe side. Now, we have 3 options here, to my knowledge. There may be more. You can interact with the crates and move things out of the way and get in that way. But we're not going to do that. We're going to have a little chat with our favourite character of all time.
It's unlocked.
What do you want, pal? This ain't no ticket office.
Let's see. We've got our choices. So, you can tell him you're here to fix the lights. He's not going to buy that. Calling him a Darwinian nightmare is not going to go well for us. And it would introduce the combat system. But we're not going to fight him. If you want to see Biff be completely punched out, go have a look at my other video recently. Because Karina gives him a good pounding. Oh, phrasing. I really could have phrased that better. Anyway, I'm here to enjoy Madam's outrageous orations.
I'm here to enjoy Madam's outrageous orations.
This ain't that kind of show.
So, here are... This is the core of the game. You've got the puzzle-solving elements, like with the boxes there, but you've got a conversation system that's just delightful. Look at all these choices. You can call him an ape. You can proclaim that she's practicing sophistry, Or you can, try and reason with him and say, oh, there's been a misunderstanding, or serious thinker. We are not dealing with a serious thinker here. Biff himself is not an intellectual giant. So, let's see... Let's pick
of course
this.
not. Madame Sophia is a serious thinker.
Don't kid around, pal. You're talking about my idol.
He idolizes the woman. So we can either continue to sort of bait him with sarcasm, but he seems to be a bit wise to it. What do you think?
I shouldn't exaggerate, but she's great with fiction.
What did you say? Take it back!
Uh-oh. Why should I, you fat tub of lard? That's fat shaming. You can't do that anymore. I don't have anything to apologize for, or okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Apology accepted.
Look, we're on the
I'll
same...
take a hike.
Aww. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, what for?
I'm the fire inspector. I'm a fire safety officer. And your performance is straight fire, so therefore it's dangerous. We're not going to call him a Darwinian nightmare. I really need to talk to your star.
Talk to your star.
Yeah.
Stop, you're breaking my heart.
Oh. So, we already know where he stands with regards to her. So, we could try that, or a matter of life and statutory. Statutory is not the word I was looking for. So, let's just compliment Sophia.
I've got to see her. She's the most wonderful woman.
Don't kid around, pal. You're talking about my idol.
And we're back to where we were before. And now, we can say, right, that selection was wrong. I gave it a go, it didn't work.
No kidding. I think she's the greatest.
Me too. There's something about her.
Yes, she sure knows how to obfuscate.
Yeah, she sure knows how to obfuscate.
No one talks about Madame
Oh,
Sophia
no.
like that.
And it looks like we're gonna get her. The problem with Biff there is that he did not know what obfuscate meant. He thought that we were criticizing his lovely lady. So we're gonna have to pound him into oblivion. And as you can see, there's a power meter, there's health, and there's certain bits
Bigger
and
they are,
pieces.
well, you know.
But if we had gone and we'd sort of kept it simple and said, hey, Sophia's great, Sophia's great, Sophia's great, then Biff would have let us in. He would have said, yeah, you're alright, and let us in. So, let's just wander out on stage, yeah?
Hey! You must be the new
No such
doorman.
luck.
About time they got rid of Biff. He was such a pushover.
Lovely little reference to what just happened. Let's see. Call that fraud over here, would you? You see, you can just go through the entire game being just a massive pain to everybody you meet if you want. You know? I'm a professor, out of my way, ivory tower syndrome, you know? Let's see.
I need to talk to that so-called psychic.
It's Madame Sophia to us employees, fella.
Oh. He didn't much care for that, did he?
Excuse me.
Take it easy and watch the show.
So, as
Here,
part
my
of this,
friend,
you have
is
to
Atlantis,
watch a bit of
as
her.
it might have appeared in its heyday. Glorious, prosperous, socially and technically advanced. Beyond our wildest dreams.
And of course, because this is called Fate of
5,000
Atlantis,
years ago, while
this is
everyone else still wore
exposition
animal
about
skins,
what to expect.
the mighty spirits of Atlantis dared to build a city where knowledge and power were united in true happiness. Centuries later, the famous philosopher Plato wrote about it. He placed Atlantis on a continent out in the deep ocean and described how it was divided into 3 circular parts,
It's all
such
fascinating,
as you
isn't
see
it?
here.
You can click through this if you're not
Isn't
interested.
she something? She can go on for hours.
So, we have a choice. We can, do all kinds of things.
Wait! She's just coming to the exciting
But he'll
part.
always interrupt us and say, here's the exciting bit.
What befell this serene city? We may never know for sure. Was it the sea level slowly creeping higher, or the earth itself suddenly shifting? However it happened, panic must have gripped the citizens on that fateful day when proud Atlantis sank beneath the waves. Or perhaps it was a volcanic eruption, and something remains even now. On some questions, the great spirit who guides my thoughts, the all-seeing Nur-Ab-Sal, is silent.
No answers from Nur-Ab-Sal.
I've been through this 100 times. The woman never stops.
So, we can talk further to the gentleman.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what now?
Isn't there something you'd rather be doing?
Like what? Show business is my whole life.
Don't you ever read?
Sure, it's a hobby of mine.
What if I give you something to read?
I might take a look.
I think you know where we're going with this. So, in the previous playthrough, Karina attempted give stagehand to newspaper. We are gonna go give newspaper to stagehand.
Here.
There we are.
Well, the
In
later
the
this.
correct order.
I wonder if the Dodgers won. Watch the lights while I find out, okay?
And it's just, the game is just familiarizing you with the various bits and pieces. Cutscenes and basic puzzles. And push a button.
There it goes.
And I still feel the presence of Atlantis through... May I present Nur-Ab-Sal?
Now, this is interesting.
The great Atlantean god of
Deceit!
deceit.
That is exposition for the end of the game.
Indiana
Right at the very
Jones,
beginning of the game,
you've got
it's telling
some
you
nerve.
Nur-Ab-Sal is a
Back to the
thing
jack-o'-lantern.
you need to sort of keep tabs on.
Great. Good night, folks.
There's almost nothing in the game is sort of pointed out unless it has some relevance.
Come on, mister. I've got a few words to mince with you.
I'd say it's about time.
Oh, no!
Looks like Kerner got here first. Stay put.
Off Indy goes to inspect.
No one
So,
here,
this is roughly the place that our last playthrough ended.
nor here
And
either.
I'm just going to continue for the next 30 minutes or so. Maybe a little longer. Well, we'll do the conversation bit, and then that'll probably take about 7 minutes itself. Just giving the basics of the plot. There's Kerner.
Dr. Uberman, fantastic news. We found the treasure we seek.
You'll notice that some of the dialogue differs slightly from the subtitles. So off he goes.
That's the second time Kerner slipped away. What does a Nazi spy want with old statues?
Have you seen the newspaper? Listen to
German
this.
wizard
Germans
splits
claim
atom.
victory in worldwide race to smash the Uranian atom. Chief scientist Dr. Hans Uberman announced his plan to harness new sources of energy for the Third Reich.
Interesting. So we have a choice now. It doesn't really, matter too much what you choose at this point. The plot's gonna still careen forward. So let's see. Practical results are years
Practical
away.
results are years away.
Of course they are. That's why they're looking for the power of Atlantis.
Be serious. I used to think you'd make a good scientist.
Yet. Concealing important artifacts, stole things from the expedition, dealing goods on the black market.
Yet you've been concealing important artifacts.
Yeah. You tell
Artifacts
her.
such as archaeology has never seen. You're lucky I don't have you arrested.
So what if I kept a few pieces for myself? Look for a small coppery bead under those clippings in my desk.
His interest in her is purely archaeological and scientific.
What do you know?
An orichalcum bead, like the one from earlier.
Turner missed the grand prize.
What?
My necklace. Watch closely.
Observe the
bead
necklace.
is made of orichalcum, the mystery metal first mentioned by Plato. Now I'll place it in the medallion's mouth.
And away we go. Yeah, try and explain that,
you see
archaeologist.
Yeah, creepy. Is your electric bill paid up?
That was Nurab Sal. His spirit is close.
So that's an example there, just that little quip, you know, about the electric bill, of the very sort of dry humour that permeates all of the Fate of Atlantis. It is a serious game, you know, it's played fairly straight, but Indy keeps hitting you with these dry bits of humour, and you can say all kinds of things, you know. What? Don't try your psychic act on me. I'm not interested in your spiritual mumbo-jumbo.
Closer than Atlantis, that's for sure. Suppose I gave this orichalcum business any credence, which I don't. Atlantis has been underwater for centuries.
Shh. I'm getting something. Nurab Sal speaks. He bids us find the... what? Oh, a book, yes. The Lost Dialogue of Plato.
Another fine myth. It's not in any library I've ever been in.
What if the Nazis have already found a copy? You ever think of that?
So, here are our choices. You find this stuff in Iceland? What were these pieces doing in Iceland? How did the Nazis get interested in Iceland? Why Iceland? Why not Florida where it's warm?
You found this stuff in Iceland, right?
Yes, near our old dig site.
I thought so. Who's working there these days?
Bjorn Heimdall, I believe.
Maybe we should pay him a visit. What do you say?
I thought you'd never ask.
Aw, and you've got your little team of two. And we're back to the map screen. And you will get choices in future with regards to where to go in the world. But for now, we're only headed to Iceland. And this is the former remains of a Jastro expedition that he spoke about briefly. So let's briefly talk to Sophia.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Remember this place?
The Jastro expedition. How could I forget?
Cold enough for you?
Even colder than my feelings towards you, Jones.
Ouch.
What do we do now?
Let's look for Heimdall.
So you can always, if Sophia's with you, you can always ask her, hey, what should we be doing? I don't understand what's going on. And she'll sort of guide you in the right direction with plenty of scorn and criticism, because she's got a very love-hate relationship with you. So, I guess we better talk to Dr. Bjorn Heimdall, who has one of the greatest accents of all time. Are you ready for this?
Pardon me.
Dr. Indiana Jones, I believe, and Madame Sophia Hapgood. This is my dig site now. Go away.
Brilliant. Just amazing.
I thought you were digging up Norse graves in Denmark.
I was. Obviously now I'm not.
Not feeling very friendly today, are we?
I like solitude. It helps me think.
Doctor, what do you expect to find here?
The secret of Hyperborea. That's what the Greeks called Iceland, you know. You've read how they sailed north to a fog-shrouded land, and how they never set foot upon it? Ha! After traveling thousands of miles, mere fog wouldn't turn them back. Some idiots claim they were repelled by ghosts. Poppycock, you know what actually stopped them, Sean?
Maybe they didn't allot any time on their itinerary. I don't know, but maybe Sophia has an idea.
I don't know, but maybe Sophia has an idea.
Forget it. I'll just tell
Aww.
you. They were stopped by a force field put here by beings not of this earth.
Wow, that's pretty fantastical.
That's fascinating, Doctor.
Why did these beings show up here?
I am convinced that these travelers came to Earth to form colonies like Atlantis, using Hyperborea as a spaceport.
Wow.
Up north here, we're close to the ether. It's a perfect landing site.
Well, gotta find those other spaceports.
So what's the link between Hyperborea and Atlantis?
Right, the Astro expedition, the one you both worked on. Recently I saw pieces from it, pieces that are clearly Atlantean.
I see. Somebody must have been selling them.
Go ahead, blame it all on me.
Well, if you actually did it, we can blame it on you.
Where did you say those pieces come from?
If it's artifacts of Atlantis you want, there are two people you might want to visit. Charles Sternhardt in Tikal, a shady fellow, but very clever. And Philippe Costa in the Azores Islands. As a researcher, he's a farce, but he's a sharp trader.
Have you ever heard of Plato's Lost Dialogue?
Yes, there are rumors about such a book, but I've yet to see it.
Such a book?
Talk to Sternhardt and Costa.
So you completely discount the supernatural?
Completely. If it's supernatural you want. Talk to Sternhardt and Costa.
I think he's trying to get us to go away and talk to other people, which I can sympathize with because that's how I spend most of my socializing, wishing that people would go away and talk to somebody else. What is this thing you're working on?
What is this thing you're working on?
The bronze eel here? It's probably a homing beacon for wayward spaceships. Soon I'll have it out of the house.
So you can ask him again.
What is this eel artifact again?
I already told you. It's an Atlantean foot warmer.
Yes.
I think.
Let's do it one more time for our amusement.
What is this eel artifact again?
I already told you. It's an Atlantean fish trap.
There we go. So long. So we have to go to Tikal, and we have to go and see Charles Sternhardt and Felipe Costa in the Azores. So, I guess, shall we briefly talk to Sophia?
Excuse me.
Yes? She's so polite.
I think the good doctor's got frostbite of the brain.
I'll say, spaceport my eye.
What do we do now?
Let's find Costa and Sternhardt.
Okay. So we shall use the truck, and you can see Indiana interacting with things again.
Let's head for the airport.
So we got a choice between the Azores and Tikal. we shall go to Tikal.
Listen,
Yes?
how do you like the tropics?
You're the one who's afraid of snakes.
Great, thanks for reminding me. Looks like the end of the road.
There's got to be a way through.
But how?
But what do we do now?
We probably should find Sternhardt.
That sounds like a good
But
idea.
I'm not setting foot in that malaria-infested hole.
Well, I guess we're gonna go into the malaria-infested hole. What happens if we walk that way? Nothing. Can't go that way. So, into the malaria we go. Now, you'll notice that there is a jungle rodent there. Some kind of capybara or something.
That critter's too far away.
Too far away to hit with my whip. So, we'll walk to this path here. And let's use the whip, see what happens. And off he goes. And then we'll whip him again. Just whip him good, you know. And you'll see, each time we get close, he complains. So we're just gonna get him to go out there, and look at that. A nice big snake. Who decides, yes, I'll have that. And they tumble down the cliff.
Good old Mother Nature.
So that's just a little fun puzzle, you know. You've got the dark paths as well, which can be a bit confusing. So, let's use the tree. Woo! Just like that. Magic.
Wow, some bridge.
Hi, Indy.
Hello. How did you get over here?
While you were off bushwhacking, I found a path.
Let's look around.
Okay.
So there was a path there the whole time, but unfortunately, we couldn't access it. Let's talk to a parrot.
Polly want a cracker?
Polly want a cracker?
Well, he's better with the accent than the other guy was.
Echo.
Echo.
Hullabaloo.
And Tyler too.
23 skidoo.
And Tyler too.
Bye-bye, birdie.
Bye-bye, birdie.
What a lovely character. So, you've got a parrot, and you've got a pile of trinkets and stuff. Let's take this lamp.
Just a minute.
Oh boy,
That's my shop.
here he comes.
Can I help you with something? Postcard? Replicas of the temple? Souvenir mugs?
No thanks, Mr.
Charles Sternhardt, PhD, independent thinker, researcher, and merchant.
So he's a bit of everything, this Charles Sternhardt, and he's off investigating the temple, and yeah, he's a bit of a character. And I should note, you probably noticed about halfway through this, but with fully voiced point-and-click adventure games, I don't have to talk as much. It's in between dialogue selections and stuff that I get the opportunity to speak. And since there's a lot of dialogue, I guess I don't have to speak as much. So it's fun.
Well, what can you tell us about Plato's Lost Dialogue?
I'm the one who translated it, I can tell you that. I'd worry you were here to steal my last copy, but someone called Mr. Smith beat you to it.
Oh, no! What can you tell us about Mr. Smith?
He showed up last week, a tall man with a German accent and a pistol. He could have taken all my souvenirs, but he only wanted the lost dialogue.
And there's the interesting part. The parrot is listening into the conversation.
What can you tell us about the temple?
Glad you asked. The locals claim Mayan Indians built it. Now I ask you, does this look like the work of primitive savages, or does it seem much too civilized?
Can we take a look inside?
How do I know that you aren't a pair of silly tourists? I only show the temple to reputable scholars.
I'm Dr. Indiana Jones. Is that scholarly enough?
Oh,
Indiana? Sounds like the name of one of your states, or possibly a cat.
Actually, it was the name of a dog.
Sophia!
this was a reference to the last Indiana Jones film. Because this comes after the original trilogy. It's pretty much a sequel to it's like the fourth Indiana Jones film, but a point-and-click adventure game. Let's see.
I'm hoping to find some evidence of Atlantis here.
Evidence is easy. You're surrounded by it. Proof? Now that's hard.
Does that mean we came to the wrong place?
I've pretty much lost hope myself, but old legends and rumors die hard.
What kind of rumors?
Local legend has it that the temple was built by men who are not men.
What are men who are not men?
Who knows? I've heard everything from giant men with snakes for tails to giant snakes with men for heads.
Some weird-looking folk.
You actually believe Atlanteans lived here?
After the city sank, this is where they came, I'm sure.
I'd really like to explore the temple.
Tell me the name of the lost dialogue of Plato.
And here's the problem. You can take a guess that Persepolis, the gluteus maximus, which is one of the biggest muscles in your body, I believe, might be the biggest, the Pleiades, or I don't know the title. Let's go with the Pleiades. Pleiades? Pleiades?
Too bad, old bloke. That's not the answer.
So the bird has remembered the title, and we're just going to try and get that kerosene lamp again to bring him out again. Yep, we're still trying to take your merchandise.
Sorry, old chum. That lamp's a part of my shop. I can't let you have that.
Yep, sorry, but we're going to take your lamp one way or another, and we can now talk to Sternhart.
Yes?
Listen.
Apparently we're doing it over here.
Yes?
I'd really like to explore the temple.
Tell me the name of the lost dialogue of Plato.
And I'm going to say, I don't know the title.
I don't know the title.
Title!
Aha! So the bird
Obviously, you're not serious about this.
now knows the word title. So we'll go over to the bird. Hey, birdie. Title.
Hermocrates, a friend of Socrates.
And there's our answer. Now let's just try and wander
Stop.
straight into the town. Okay,
Begging your
we'll
pardon, you
not.
can't go in there. The temple isn't safe.
Fine. So we'll talk to Mr. Sternhart again.
Excuse me.
Yes?
About exploring the temple.
Tell me the name of the lost dialogue of Plato.
The Hermocrates.
The Hermocrates.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, birdie.
Well now, perhaps I was wrong. You seem to know what you're doing. Walk this way, please.
I don't trust this guy, Indy.
I know what you mean.
He's a
Come on.
slippery customer.
Here we are. Let's see what you can do.
So, you'll see there's not much we can do right now. There's all kinds of spirals and stuff, but the answer is not much.
Wait for me, old bean.
Unfortunately, Mr. Sternhardt over there is going to get in the way the whole time. So, we are going to leave. Yes, really. We're going to leave. We've had enough of you.
Let's find the airport.
Had enough of Sternhardt for now. Let's go to the Azores for a little bit. I've just realised it's not the Azores that I needed to go to. But I mean, it's a beautiful backdrop. Absolutely beautiful.
This is his house?
This is it.
But we're not going to go to his house. I just wanted to show you the Azores. And not...
Come on, let's go.
See, I'd forgotten, right, if you head back to New York, right, it's not the same place. You go back to Barnet College, not to the New York streets. Okay?
What are we doing here?
You'll see, you'll see.
What a campus. And you could have been teaching here.
Sure, teaching people with minds like razors, sharp and narrow.
Let's look around.
You go, I'll wait.
And you'll see already, Sophia decides, like, hey, I don't particularly want to follow you around here, you know? Let's just,
Here's a cartouche from the Well of Souls. Here's a thuggy idol. Ah, letters from the school principal to my dad. They all begin the same way, regarding Henry.
Henry's his real name.
I wish that purple meteor on the top shelf would stop glowing.
And that's a reference to another game. But anyway, we'll wander up here for no reason. Let's look at the trunk, shall we?
Nothing useful in here.
It's a red herring. What we actually need to do is open the ice
Guess I should
box.
have cleaned it out.
And pick up
I guess it's mayonnaise, but it looks like used motor oil.
our best item ever. A jar of used mayonnaise. Very important. So we'll wander over here now. And we've got 11 minutes left. So we'll just quickly wander over and see if we can do this Tikal thing. You know, I've just realised I don't need to be here. It's a case of memory versus, you know, the game. I thought we needed something else. We don't. We just need the jar of mayonnaise. The most important item in the game. Or do we? Huh. I'm trying to think. Let's go to Tikal and see. It's the old memories playing up here with 10 minutes to go. So if we quickly pick up the kerosene lamp, he'll interact with us.
Sorry, old chum. That lamp's a part of my shop. I can't let you have that.
I'll talk to Sophia and briefly
Sophia?
tell her, hey,
Yes?
What do we do now?
We could explore the temple again, or we could move on.
Let's go to the temple. I believe there was a way of doing this.
Hold up there, friend.
Yep, come on, Charles. Join us.
Well, any ideas yet?
I think this is an idea,
I don't think that'll work.
but it's not. Can you believe I've forgotten how to do this?
Engraved symbols of water and life.
I do believe I'm actually going to have to look this up.
This one looks different, more deeply etched. I can't. Years of tarnished. Sophia, let's talk.
That's it. I remember now.
What's up?
Could you talk to Sternhardt and keep him occupied?
Okay. Dr. Sternhardt, I'd like to speak to you.
So she'll go and speak with him. And we'll just nip out to the exit here. We need the lamp.
Good thing that pest Sternhardt's not around. A monument to the genius of the Mayans.
Excuse me, won't you? Let's see what your friend is up to.
So, he's looking at us now. And I think you open the kerosene lamp. Use opened kerosene lamp with spiral design, is it?
So, you took my lamp, eh? I hope you know what you're doing.
Look, the kerosene ate away the tarnish.
There we are.
Remarkable.
So we pick up the spiral
Oh,
design.
I got it.
Marvelous.
With Sternhardt encouraging us all the way. Use a spiral design with the animal head.
It fits perfectly. Now
Hooray!
It looks kind of like an elephant.
Amazing.
And we didn't have to use the mayonnaise after all.
That doesn't seem to work.
Doing all so well up to that point, and he's just like, no, this doesn't work.
Look at that.
Astonishing. Bless my soul, the tomb of an Atlantean king. Here's a small stone disc with images of land and sea engraved on it. I do believe it's a world stone. At last I have the thing. Goodbye, fellow seekers.
Wait!
And away he goes.
Oh no, he got away!
So, what do we do now? Well, just like the Nazis, he missed the grand prize.
Too bad for Sternhardt. He missed the orichalcum bead.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe it is the tomb of an Atlantean king.
So we got ourselves some orichalcum. I guess we'll head to the exit. But this time, we go round the path to the jungle, take the car, and we're going back to Iceland.
Let's find the airport.
That was quite the detour. I went to New York, got a jar of mayonnaise, went back, realised I didn't need the mayonnaise, and now we're back in Iceland again. And you're probably wondering, wait, what? You've been here. Why are you showing us Iceland again? Show us Atlantis! But look at frozen Heimdall. He can't speak to us with his terrible accent anymore.
Too bad. He's frozen solid. A little too dedicated to his work, I guess.
So, we'll use the orichalcum in the exposed eel
It
head.
fits perfectly. Whoa!
Whoa!
Look, it melted itself right out of the ice.
And we now have one eel figurine, which could be useful, say if we were talking to a trader. Not a traitor, a trader. So we'll use the truck.
Let's head for the airport.
And off we go to the Azores. And you click on your destination, obviously. I think you gathered that from just looking at it, you know. So, finally we're at the Azores, and we'll totally ignore that we randomly went here on holiday, for no reason, realised we were in the wrong place and left. This time, we know what we're doing. I think. Okay.
Mr. Costa?
Pipe down, I'm coming.
Another
Be
beautifully
firm,
voiced
but
character.
polite.
I suppose you're selling something. If it's not a priceless artifact, I don't want it.
Well put, Mr. Costa. Do you have a bathroom in there I can use?
I hear you know something about Plato's lost dialogue.
Maybe so, maybe no. Who are you?
I'm a fellow believer.
Is that right? Do you know where Atlantis is?
Actually, I'm trying to find out.
Come closer, boy, and I'll tell you. You're standing on it.
The Azores?
No one believes me. That hurts.
Well, why would they, you crazy old man?
Nice going, Indy. I could have done better.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure.
And that's a hint.
Sophia?
Yes?
Here, you talk to the man.
My pleasure.
And suddenly, we're Sophia. It doesn't happen often.
Mr. Costa!
Pipe down, I'm coming.
He's a touchy old bird.
Watch and learn, Dr. Jones.
Yes.
Well, hello, beautiful.
I hope my friend didn't pester you too much.
He's a friend of yours? Well, no, he didn't pester me that much.
Actually, he's named after the family's dog.
Sophia.
See?
I see.
What can you tell us about Plato's
And
lost
down to
dialogue?
business.
What do you want to know?
He seems to have much more interest.
Do you have it?
Nope,
Oh.
Have you read it?
nope,
Oh.
Do you know what's in it?
not exactly.
Oh.
Can you get it for me?
Sorry.
Do you know where we could find it?
Well now, that depends. I might trade the information for a rare Atlantean artifact,
Rare
such as
Atlantean
a certain necklace
artifact,
I've
you
heard
say?
about.
I'll never trade away my
Oh,
necklace.
no.
Well then, if that's how you feel, surprise me.
Would you do business with my friend here?
Madame, I'll do business with anyone.
Thanks for your help. Goodbye for now.
At your command, madame.
So, you've wooed him a little bit.
Don't be a stranger now.
And,
What a charming old man.
Trade, huh?
we can now talk to Indy and switch back
Indy?
over. You don't
Yes.
get to be Sophia much. I think
you
this is
better
one of
take
the
over.
one of the few times
Okay, I'll give it a try.
just LucasArts showing off, being like, look, we can do this.
Mr. Costa?
You again? What do you want?
Let's talk about a trade.
Okay, what you got?
I'm offering this mysterious eel figurine.
Now that looks interesting. You've got a deal, mister.
You could offer
Now
him your
listen
whip
carefully. I
and
don't
various
know
other
exactly
things.
where to find it, but the lost dialogue of Plato is in the Pierce collection. Got that?
I think so. The Pierce collection.
Very good. Nice doing business with you.
Easy peasy.
The Pierce collection? You know something, Sophia? I believe Barnett College owns the Pierce collection.
And suddenly, we have a cutscene.
Dr. Uberman. Fantastic news.
Colonel, at last!
Wonderful
See
voice
that
acting.
hair, Charles?
I love the way she sounds! What on earth?
Isn't it amazing?
You fool! You come back to show me this
Oh dear.
prehistoric knick-knack?
Herr Doctor, I believe this knick-knack, as you call it, comes from the lost city.
Then we have failed! I see no evidence here of some magical metal Plato called orichalcum!
Look here. Concealed in the base is a small shiny bead.
And it glitters like fire! Exactly as Plato described.
It's my guess we found the treasure we seek.
I never guess. We must test.
And we have a wonderful scene of things blowing up and things going wrong. More explosions! More explosions!
The energy of uranium without any radioactivity. And those smug American scientists know nothing.
That gives me an idea. Suppose I place the bead inside the statue's open mouth.
Kerner, no.
You saw that? Think of trucks powered by these beads. Think of tanks. Think of airplanes.
Use your imagination, Colonel. Think big like the Americans. Think of bombs.
Oh no. So, an hour has now passed as of that cutscene, and we're back at Barnet College in order to find the lost dialogue of Plato in the Pierce collection. And yep, we're back.
So why are you dragging me in here?
We're not going to continue playing. If you want to know more about Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, I have done a review on the matter, which goes into more detail with regards to the almost unique at the time branching path. For instance, this lost dialogue of Plato can be found in multiple locations. Certain aspects of the game are randomized, and there are distinct paths which change the puzzles that you face, and how you complete the game. Well, the mid-section of the game. The end section with Atlantis, yes, Fate of Atlantis has Atlantis in it, is the same regardless of what you do. But the whole mid-section of the game is completely different depending on whether you want to use your wits or your fists or team up with Sophia. And it's very interesting because there's been very little in the genre that's been like it, really, you know. Generally, point-and-click adventure games are like, well, Karina compared them to cartoons. It is like watching an episode of something that you just happen to click on, or occasionally it throws you a puzzle to solve, and the dialogue in this is particularly nice. I know I'm mousing over the word dialogue, that's probably why I said it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this long play, much more relaxed view of the game with not much talking, I guess, compared to some of my other long plays where there's less dialogue, feel free to check out my other stuff. And if you like, hit the old subscribe button. Next week I'll be looking at another point-and-click adventure game, but it's one that I won't have played anywhere near as much as this, and it's one that has a very different mechanic and atmosphere, and isn't voiced. So, until then, take care.